Hey everyone, it's late summer now and water levels are becoming a tricky thing in certain areas. A little tip today about some uses in advanced electronics to help you keep track of water levels on your graph. So we're going to talk a little bit today about the Humminbird Helix system and its integrated LakeMaster mapping and some functions in there that you can use to help you when water levels start to drop. I know late summer into fall is a time when reservoir areas are dropping. Typically in a normal year there's some dropping water, but especially this year around the country there's some drought conditions in certain areas of the country and water levels are falling. I know in our area of north central Wisconsin, I fish some river run reservoir systems, and the water is falling a little bit there as well. We've had some tournaments out there, and there's some tips and tricks with the electronics that can help you keep track and be mindful of those water level conditions and navigate safely and even kind of reposition fish because it's important to be able to know what the new contours are and to read the mapping. So we're going to talk a little bit about a couple things, and then we're also going to talk about, start with where can you get the information. First of all, you've got to have the Humminbird Helix. You've got to have the LakeMaster mapping on the Humminbird Helix system to make this work properly. But then the second thing you need is an information source. Now you can be on the water the day of the tournament and you can see where the ordinary high water mark is, usually by lines on marks and rocks or in the trees or the shoreline itself, and you can estimate how far the water has dropped. Or you can actually go to some websites that have some information. And in Wisconsin, we have the Wisconsin Valley Improvement Company that runs a few of the reservoirs that we fish on, and we can go to their website. I'll pop it up on the screen here and show you the graph we get to actually show you the offset from normal pool, and you'll be able to see that. That we can pick that off of there then and use a special function, a water level offset function in our Humminbird Helix unit, and I'll show you the mapping of that in a moment. But also then, more globally speaking, you know, you've got your improvement companies, Wisconsin Valley Improvement Company, TVA, Tennessee Valley Authority, you know, runs all that, those systems down there. You can find your water authority if you just Google it. But you can also, on a lot of systems, Mississippi River and on some other rivers, go to the USGS site and find the gauging station information for each particular reservoir. And if you find the gauge height and then the difference from the gauge height, you can understand in real time what the water levels are. And a gauge height is a water level. It's got some different meanings with it, and I'll pop those meanings up on the screen as well, so you can see. But the USGS improvement companies, there's websites out there for your body of water. Research that first and you can find those water level offsets and be able to do the next thing that's pretty cool. So on LakeMaster, we'll pop open this and I'll get you a video of the actual screen so that you know how to navigate to it. So now that we know we need a Humminbird Helix, we're on it. We've got our LakeMaster chip in there. We're reading our LakeMaster map. We've chosen the right chart. And so now we're on the river run reservoir system that we're concerned about. And what we can do then is we hit the menu. Once you're in the mapping, you open the menu, hit it twice, go to HB chart across the top, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll find water level offset. And if you then press the right or left button, you can change that value. And you can see here's where we start at 0. We know from our information that we're 3.7 feet low. So I'm going to go to -4 feet and give myself a little factor of safety in case the water level drops at all during the day. And now my graph has changed, my chart has changed, and all my water highlights have changed to account for that water level offset. So now when I exit, I'm back in the map and all my information has changed and I can more safely navigate the waterway. Now, I say more safely because nothing's perfect and mapping can have errors in it. Of course it does. One thing that you can also do from a pre-fishing standpoint or a pre-scouting standpoint is you can actually name your tracks. And my suggestion would be, on the practice days, I would name those tracks the stage height that you were at. So, you know, if you were particular scout day SD -3, if I was 3 feet low, or SD -2, scout day -2, or scout day -4, whatever the water level drop offset was on the day that you had that track log developed, I would also rename that track log that particular offset. So the use of this Humminbird Helix, the use of LakeMaster mapping, really helps you keep track of and utilize that water level offset functionality and some thought about your scouting days so that your track logs match the water level offset that you were scouting that day, so you don't blindly just follow your track log from before over new mapping that's been modified for that water level offset. So it's been very useful this season for us already. We've lost 3 feet, almost 4 feet in some of our local reservoirs, and I'm able to adjust on the fly with my mapping and able to keep track of the information I had during scouting by logical naming convention of some of my track logs in the Humminbird Helix unit. So take advantage of it. If you got any questions about how maybe to do naming conventions or how to change the names of track logs or anything, we can always get some information to you on that. So hopefully you found that helpful. Please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time on the water.